We are having sort of a split fight. They are split between the dragon and the fight. They should just take the fight at this point.
Did they know the Twitch is here? Twitch is going to spray and pray. Think he's going to be able to kill the Mordekaiser? Surely? Dead. Nice, there it happens.
Brazil
oh, look the Twitches. Look where the Twitch is. Look where he is, though. He's going to kill this Ari easily. They just don't know he's there.
Killing off screen.
Yeah, for real. It's going to go down. Mel here, Caitlyn's going to try and run the rest of the fight. But again, the Twitch comes from nowhere. He's crazy.
For the side, they're not going to see J4 go right in. The ult comes up, the Cataclysm comes out. They're all fighting in the middle. Not as caught in the trunks somehow. The Superman Death Rocket does come out and then I'm getting knocked back. However, Olaf is on that backline, taking a lot of damage. Sevilla will fall, Jinx will fall. But this Olaf, he's taking them all back.
He just want to be for them. Okay, casually, I guess.
Safety. Jinx is on the other side of this wall. If they can keep, I was gonna say, if they can keep him safe. Okay, he went hella aggressive there. He's gonna get 2 kills. He's gonna go for the 3rd kill. He's gonna go for the 4th kill. Help the best stole his penta. Quadra kill here for Cookie. To be fine here. Meanwhile, Zeus is gonna be fighting Svaros on the top side, and that's gonna be a no. Victor stole the Nash.
Oh my god. But the difference between not going to be enough because he comes back around for the drive-by. Bloody, that's going to be a hell of a clip.
It's, you know, it's like it's more of a rare occasion if it does happen. Just like a 3-man Bard ult coming out. Holy moly, in goes Neela as well. Look at the 4-man pull. Holy moly, the cutters are absolutely getting slaughtered and getting sent to the butchers. Clean ace.
Below on gold, it's going to be really hard for you to do the Baron here. Shreds your resistances. And we see 5DK are wrapping around. They're going to have to leave it, but it's on 3K. That means 5DK can just start it. It's very close to being stolen. They're going to just take this. Red team do get it. That's so unfortunate. And now the team fight begins. And JP's in the wrong place. He's going to get collapsed on. What can they even do here? Quay's going to run. Sejuani just going to watch his AP carry get popped. And he just has to run behind the turret and pray.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MiniLCS Winter Open 2026. This is the first official broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, you might have seen some other broadcasts the other day. You know, that's, you know, team broadcast channels. This is like Sky Sports, but better because, well, not Sky Sports, because fuck Sky Sports, right? This is the official broadcast. This is the EU production, not this NA production over at some other community which shall not be named anymore. You know, we're here. We're ready to go. I'm ready to go, I think. I've got everything ready. You know, and today's game is Hardstuck Heroes bracket. It is Hagrid's Hermione's versus Good Chimps. I know nothing about them. Our casters know nothing about them. Who are these people? I don't know. But it should be good. The logos are good. That PS1 Hagrid logo, oh, quality right there. Absolute quality. Now, I don't know what else to say, you know. I'm just so overwhelmed with emotions and just stuff because we're back, you know. We're back for this shenanigans. So with that, I'm not going to talk. Oh no, sorry. I have one thing to say. And for all of you new viewers here on Twitch, on YouTube, and also on Kick, thank you. There are 2 people there. Hello. You are here on the one and only channel. You know, the one and only production team. It is the League of Chat. Ah, there we go. Let's get that cringe out of the way. Let's bring in the 2 casters. We have this prick who defeated me yesterday. Scottish cunt. We have Tuber, you know, good old Tuber for League of Friends people who have been around for a while. And then we have your boy. If Eunice can line this up, this would be perfect, you know. We have Big Dick Slimsy. So, welcome, gents. Oh, shit. Oh, there we go.
I don't think that should be my stage name, but you know.
Any production thanks again. How are we, folks? Welcome back to the MiniLCS. Thank you, Aaron.
Excuse me, Slimsy, why is your
and
dick
Slimsy,
so
we've
big?
got a hell of a gaming show, don't we?
Excuse me, Slimsy, why
Yeah, we
is
do
your dick
indeed.
so big?
Obviously, have two new teams here who haven't really played before, so I think that's the best kind of matchup because you don't know what's coming out, you don't know how they play, and you don't know how the explosions will happen on the Rift. So I'm excited. Hope you are too.
Well, that's just it. You know, both of these teams, you know, are
Excuse
brand
me,
new to
Slimsy,
me.
why is your dick
The
so
little
big?
bit of research I've managed to find on any of these teams is that good chimps came from the Valorant League. They got quite far in Division 2, but they did end up losing to Frostbite. And that is literally all I know. I've seen maybe 5 minutes of that one of their games.
Yeah,
so we're
but
interested
that's
to see
more
how
than me
these
already.
two teams. Yeah, love to see how these two teams fare out. What kind of champions they're going to see. Since we don't know much, how much of this new map have you played, Slimsy? And what's your kind of thoughts on the new season so far?
Not too much actually. I haven't played that much of the new meta, but obviously I do know bits and pieces. Even what I do see more than anything is that bot lane should be played to more often than not.
Sorry. So any production was that last season split?
Fuck off. Alright, fuck off. Some buttons here are doing the wrong thing, right?
Just mad that I lost.
Someone's still sleeping. But no, as I was saying, like I think with the new changes and stuff, bot lane should probably be played to a lot more often than not, you know, with the gold increase and the 7th item, if they can get to that, it makes ADCs really OP this season. So, you know, there's a lot more variety with the new changes, but we'll see how they do.
Well, that's just that, you know, these new role quests are going to be so important. You know, whether it be in the AD role, as you say, the jungle role, getting that upgraded smite, and the extra movement speed in the jungle, which can make such a difference. I mean, someone who's come from playing the jungle, you know, in this new season, you literally, it's all about getting that item, and then you get such a lead, especially if your enemy jungler's behind.
Of course.
The fear of a level 20 top laner, that's not fun when there's Narcissus and Windows of the world.
No, I agree. In fact, that big XP injection you get in top lane is actually quite big. But for you, from your standpoint, I know you've played kind of all around the Rift, Tuber. So what do you think is the strongest upgrade in this season?
Oh, it has to be, as you say, it has to be ADC. The fact that you get a 7th item with the boots going into a separate slot like that, and the amount of extra gold you get, it can be giga busted. I have seen a few mages try and exploit that, because mage items are a lot cheaper than the AD carry items. And the fact that you can get those boots heading away, you get to the Rabadons a lot quicker, because you get that injection of gold. If you are a mage which can clear quite quickly, Mel's of the world, the Ares of the world, somehow in bot lane, playing that role can be kind of busted. So we're interested to see how these teams adapt. And yeah, we've got requests for the OPGGs of these teams. What's your thoughts, Slimsy?
Yeah.
Because you're the one, this is your specialty, not me.
No, exactly. Checking the OPGGs here, I can see the mid laner is Armorina, I think it is, on the side of Chimps, and they seem to be playing a lot of Ari, a lot of Xerath, that sort of thing. The Twisted Fate as well, which is good, and Aurelion Soul, so I can see from that game. So that those kind of picks there are super scaly, right? Like Ari does really well into the later stage of the game where she can find picks for Charm. Xerath, of course, needs those items to start poking out people. So I'm wondering if those kind of picks are tuned to the new meta. Moving on kind of across the team here, I like that a lot of them actually have CHI in their name, which is pretty cool. They're a real team, you know, they're here for business. But I am seeing a lot of variety with the champs they play. Jax is one of them with Patarina, I think it is. Seeing that in a flex game or two, seeing Lee Sin as well in the jungle. But this person seems to be playing everywhere, so maybe they're more of a feel for their team, which is interesting because we can see a lot of adaptability potentially in the team. So let's say game one, you know, they play in one role with a Jax, for example, and then they switch it up and play in another role with another champ. It'd be intriguing to see the variety from this team. Looking specifically at their jungler as well, I see common traditional tank picks, right? We have Amumu, we've got Sejuani, we even have J4. Yeah, we can expect. Amumu is one of your main one was for a bit actually.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Amumu, Shyvana, Sejuani, they're my kind of main 3 champions. We don't know what we were doing last night.
Yeah,
but the Amumu.
No, fair enough. They're strong. They're solid, right? They're good champs. And
Yeah.
like I said, this part here we can see Theoski, I think it is. Apologies if my pronunciation is bad and I'm butchering your name, but we're going to see a traditional tank pick anyway, which seems to be quite well, right? If you get those early game engaging tanks in the jungle, they can go and accelerate those lanes to make sure they get the role quest activated.
Yeah, it also opens up the other roles. So you know, top lane isn't set on he has to go front line. 9 times out of 10 he still will, but if you go out and engage support, engage jungle even, it means you can take that role, you can start the fights, allow your mid lane, allow your ADCs. That's kind of what you need in these kind of competitions.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. Agree with you 100%. That's exactly what you need. An enabler, either in the jungle or in support most of the time. Again, moving on to the support side for Chimps, I see a lot of Nautilus here, so I'm expecting that to be a high priority pick for them. And as a backup, they do play the Thresh, which, you know, as you know, Chuba, my team like to play a lot of Thresh when we were around playing in the tournament. So that pick is very strong. Engage, disengage, that sort of thing. So I'm expecting maybe, you know, 2 traditional tank picks on the side of Chimps, one being in the jungle, one being in support, and a kind of late scaling carries even for the side of Chimps.
Well, that's just it. We also got to have a wee talk about the kind of rank differentials here, because for the side of the Chimps, you've got a lot of class, whereas on the flip side, you've got a couple of emeralds sprinkled in with some gold. So there's some disparities across the board.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, a lot of them are plat. I think actually looking at their OP.GG now, they go from plat 1 to plat 4, and each one of them holds a tier. So P1, P2, P3, P4, and then there's one other which I can't see currently. But yeah, on the other side, like you said, the ADC on Hagrid's Hermione's is actually Emerald 2. So I'm expecting that ADCs maybe have a little bit more knowledge, maybe be able to win out on the advantage and utilize that extra gold to maybe help carry their team. And that's kind of balanced out by a gold 2 jungler on the side of Hagrid's Hermione's by going by the name of Kleps, I believe. So maybe in the jungle there'll be a little bit of a weakness or maybe
it's a completely different. You know, as much as he's a lower rank, he's got a very different play style to the side of the Chimps. You know, you've got these Evelyns, the Parthuses, and Heckrams, and even the Lilia, which, again, mega respect for the Lilias and all that. The only issue with when you're playing that, you need the engage, you need this tankiness to come from somewhere else. Because if Lilia gets jumped on, she can't. Same as Heckram. So if you've got some of these picks, you need to have something. I'm looking at some of these other picks they have. I don't really see anything like that, so it'll be intriguing to see what they pick as we go in.
I think their top lane, from what I can see, seems like they fill that tank role. So I agree with you completely. You know, it looks like the top lane will be taking that over, but it looks like we're actually going into champ select now, and we have both teams already drafting up. We can already see some critical bans coming in, as we previously mentioned, the Sejuani being banned, the TF being banned, 2 champions we mentioned for the side of Chimps that they might play, and that's already being banned out immediately. Now the banning phase is over. We have Braum locked in on the side of Hagrid's Hermione's. What do you think about that, Chuba?
Really solid support. Not someone I enjoy playing against or with, to be fair, but in terms of the meta, you know, the reliability of that shield passive is just so overpowered. So it'll be interesting to see how they play around that.
100%. That's the first kind of tank that, you know, we were looking for on the side of Hagrid's Hermione. You mentioned that the jungler likes to be quite a carry focus, you know, going for the Evelyns. So this Braum will be a good support in terms of setting up and enabling the side of Hagrid's Hermione's.
Yeah, interesting to see the Smolder, because obviously Smolder is a very late game stacking pick. We saw, you know, if you've been watching the stream the last couple of nights and all that, last night the Smolder didn't really get online till late, but with an Alistar, You know, he's going to have so much power to push the enemy in the pulse. Interesting to see how Braum plays around there.
100%. Alistair will be able to buy space, maybe help protect the Smolder, but that Smolder does need time, like you say, to scale up, and we did expect this from the side of the Chimps to pick kind of scaling. I assume that mid laner will be picking a scaling champ as well. Hagrid's Hermione's now at the moment deciding what they'll do. I'd imagine they'll likely pick out an ADC.
Oh, hell yes! Hell yes! Let's go! I did not see that anywhere near, and that's a mid lane Seraphine. I am a happy man.
For anyone who doesn't know, that is the only champ.
Sorry for the headphone warnings.
Yeah,
did not see that coming at all.
Oh gosh. But yeah, as you can see, they pick out the Seraphine, likely going in the mid lane, I would imagine, followed up by the Vayne in the third slot there to be the counterpart against Smolder. Not sure how Vayne does into Smolder. I don't really play much in the bot lane. Do you know much about that in terms of how that matchup goes?
I mean, Vayne, with these Fiend Hunter bolts, you know, it's just broken with the ultimate. And when you've got something like Seraphine and Braum to enable her, it's going to be so much. Xin Zhao, though, is kind of scary. Because if Xin Zhao can get on someone with a it's going to be so hard.
Yeah, it will be for sure. I didn't really expect a carry champ coming out of good chimp team, but we do see the Xin Zhao, like you said. I guess he can do a little bit of carrying and tanking up there as we go into the second ban phase, and we already see Mordekaiser and Malphite being banned. Really smart bans here, general good top laners at the moment, and I imagine the next two will also be top lane focused to ensure that they can secure the pick that they want on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, Malphite has been so overpowered this patch. You've seen a lot in pro play that either they're banning the Sylas to get the Malphite through, or if the Sylas is banned, Malphite is also banned. But the Kali and Ahri bans, two solid mid laners.
Yeah, 100%. We did see the Ahri being banned and the Mel coming in. Sorry, go for it, Chuba.
Yeah, that's not a nice thing if you're the Seraphim, because that reflects, you know, you need to now be really careful with all of your abilities, especially that arm. Because even if you think, oh great, I'm going to get a 5-man out, if that Mel's got her W up, it's coming right back at your team. But this Zac is...
Yeah, I agree with you completely. Seraphine does need to look out. Zac coming in, being a really good enabler for the team, being able to peel for champs like Vayne as well. Combined with Seraphine and Braum, I think they have a lot of shields and utility, which is really good. And now they're looking to round out their comp with a really nice top lane pick, but that's going to be in the jungle, I would imagine, actually. So we might have a Mumu jungle and Zac top, actually.
That's beautiful. That is actually beautiful. You know, that's if this Mumu can latch onto this Mel, they're just gonna have so much fun.
Yeah, they will. And to counter, there's the Gwen. I don't know the matchup well into Zac. Into Mumu, it does really, really well. But obviously, we're going to have to see on the Rift. But I think all in all, right, the side of Hagrid's Hermione's, that name gets me all the time. Great name, by the way. They have a lot of engage, a lot of frontline. They'll be able to support the Vayne, allow the Vayne to run around as long as she doesn't get caught. Seraphine as well in the backline, going to be helping out the rest of the team, sending ults for the team, shielding, healing, and doing a bunch of damage, hopefully. Whereas the side of good Chim seem a little more aggressive, right? If they can actually get some kills in the early game, it might disrupt that team fight power of Hagrid's Hermione's. So they need to really make sure they utilize the Xin in the early game to be able to run into solo lanes, be able to push them ahead so they can keep the lead and prevent Hagrid's Hermione's from actually team fighting for objectives.
My biggest concern for good Chimp is look at how this damage is split up. Yes, you've got the Smolder. It takes a bit of a time to get online. Whereas, you know, you got the Vayne, which is always going to do so much damage. Yes, you know, the Zac and the Sarah will do decent magic damage. At least they have a tank that wants to build a lot of armor. This Alistair will still need to build some kind of enchantment item, redemption, whether it be, you know, Shirelius to try and get into the engage. I'm not too big on the builds, but you got to think that especially with the bagpipes now as well, taking leaf from Scotland, you know, these bando pipes. It's a disgusting item. I've seen it on bards, and the effect it can do kind of nutty. So it'll be interesting to see if they build that. But I just genuinely think that if this Amumu just goes the Magic Sunfire item, nobody's going to touch him.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out for sure. I do think Amumu can still be shredded, especially if he doesn't, you know, hit critical items into the mid game, because that's kind of where he shines more often than not. You know, champs like Gwen scale up really well, Smola scaling really well, Mel even scales up really well, especially in team fights that can go on very long. So I think if Amumu and Zac and even Brom are not able to find the engage in a team fight correctly, that will give time for Mel to scale up, that will give time for Smolder to land Qs. You know, Gwen could be splitting in the side lane, and then all of a sudden a really strong team fight comp that should win the team fight is struggling simply because they've been poked out and they're not able to find engage on the correct targets.
I mean, it all depends on the game goes. I know it's the age-old thing, you know, we can sit and talk wax lyrical about these teams, but until we actually get into the Rift and see these two teams fighting it out, we're not really going to know, because there's so many different situations here. You know, if this Vayne gets ahead, bot lane will be, it's just, there's no question the game could just be done there. A fed Vayne is not something anyone wants, especially when you've got the peel of the Amumu, Zac and the Seraphim and the Brom. You know, they're quite clearly putting right, we need to get this Vayne ahead, we need to play around it. Whereas on the Chimps, you want to get this Smolder fed as soon as you can, get those stacks to the 2-2-5 so we get to execute. But even then, it's still not a secure bit. With a Mel's help, if they can get a lot of damage down, it can be so powerful. And for those watching last night, we know what the Gwen can do to towers late game, especially if they can get rounds.
Snip, snip, exactly. Gwen can actually delete them. And with the fact that actually tower plays remain on towers nowadays, because it used to be 14 minutes, I think it dropped off, it's actually really good. So it means that you can always have that gold, always be a big threat in the side lane, and applying side lane pressure actually gets you so much gold regardless.
It's not just, it's not just on the tier 1s now as well. You know, every single tower has those plates. So if if you can have a top laner that can split, that can put the pressure, they can get accelerated really quickly if they can get pressure on these turrets. Not only that, you now have the crystals that will form, and it's basically a mini demolish, which makes, you know, some of these champions that never really had, again, I'll look at Seraphim. If you look at her auto attacks, they're not the most scary things in the world.
They are,
you
when
know,
you play them. When you do
of course it. But you know, they're not necessarily the most damaging. With this crystallite, these crystals on these towers, the damage you can do to these turrets is quite scary if they build up. So especially that first pressure, you can get a couple of plates really easily. So it'll be intriguing to see how that plays out, and how these guys build. There's so many variables here.
Yeah, I
can turn it off.
Predictions are like, oh, sorry, I need to go to I'm not even on Twitch, I apologize, give me 2 seconds, guys. But predictions are live, guys. Sorry. Sorry, I got the intel from the back that predictions are live. I didn't know what I was doing, apologies. It's my first rodeo here, but you guys should be able to see that on Twitch, so you guys can predict which team will win. As we mentioned, right, both teams are new here. They're going with their kind of bread and butter. From what I can see, we got really heavy scaling and fighting on one side, and we got traditional kind of team fighting on the other. Make predictions in the chat, get some points back, and yeah, we'll see.
I mean, I know who I'm betting on here. For me, there's only one team. Not knowing any of these players, just going to draft.
Why is your dick so big?
I have to kind of do this for the Hagrids. For a nice solid $9,000. Just simply because I'm dead on the Seraphim.
Only because they're Seraphim.
Of course.
I need more concrete evidence than that, Tuba, than just Seraphim. You know, I need I don't know, I need stats.
I just think, you know, with this comp, you know, the Amumu engage, the Zac setup, there's a lot of ways that he can enable this Vayne with the help of the Seraphim and Brom. So yeah, no, I just, to me, I can't see past them. But at the end of the day, you know, we're gonna have to see how it happens on the Rift. And yeah, I think Klep's going something like the Amumu. it's a much safer bet. We talked about it earlier. He normally likes these engaged champions. Well, the ones that want to be the hero, the Hecarums, the Evelyns, the Karthus, even the Karthuses in J4. Whereas going this Amumu, they've got a clear identity of the comp. He wants to go in, he wants to literally hook on someone, press R, and let the rest of the team do the job. That's what he wants to do. Whereas if he went Hecarim, if he went this Evelyn, he's a lot more reliant on doing everything that he needs to do. I think it's much more, and if we do get team fights, which this meta is going, they're going to have so much power. And yeah, I believe with that, it won't be too long till we get to see the game.
No, okay, we're having some technical issues, but that's okay. No worries at all.
NA production.
No. This is not NA production. This is what we would call. This is our Riot Games segment, which is. Please, can you just not make a game with the spaghettiest code in the spaghettiest world?
Okay, we're getting some intel. Nice. Riot Games sucks. Basically, is the bottom line.
Oh, they heard all of that. They heard all that. They needed to hear all of that.
Oh, okay. They heard all
just
that.
wait till we get the new client next year, and it's going to be so much worse.
It's going to be so shitty. It's worse already. Like, oh my gosh, it's so bad.
It'll have Vanguard just to access the installer. You can't have anything running. What do you mean you're running Discord? Can't have that.
Yeah, exactly. It hates everything. Tokyo Fox, can we go back to season 1 client? 100%. Season 1 client was so good. It was best. Can we go back to quintessences? That would be fun. Runes and quintessences.
I never saw season 1 of that. I was quite late to League. I think the first champion I saw was Kasante. Like, that's how new I am. Well, not new anymore, because there's been plenty then.
No, look, Chuba, back in the day, there were some tricks, tips and tricks that you needed. Even Tokyo Fox, you can see already, used to run the 1% crit mark. That was the best thing you could do. I think it was 0.8 or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but you always had one in, because if you hit 1% crit in a trade and you win, that crit could change the whole game. I don't know. It's masteries as well. Masteries were so good back in the day. Oh, but you had to buy them. You had to buy runes. Imagine you had to play game.
That's crazy. I mean, you don't used to have to do that for your summoner spells. It used to be you never got flash right away. I don't know about nowadays. Crazy. Like, people that are starting to play the game.
Like, yeah, exactly. You have to level up to get summoner spells.
Get champions.
But get champions. Yeah. Now obviously everyone's got all the champions.
Imagine being stuck playing someone like a Seraphim or something like that. So anyway, back to this game. While we're waiting on the spaghetti code, who do you think will win this?
Me, it's really hard to tell. Like I said, we don't know. I'm not going to make any big predictions for now because we're not too sure. But we definitely just got to wait and see. Kind of how the teams execute. Really, that's the main biggest thing that we see here, right? Execution is key. If we can find the engagers from one side, will be good. On the other side, if they can do a good job of splitting up the team fight team, then they'll do a good job of successfully taking over the game. So yeah, coming down to execution, but I'm not sure if you have any predictions yourself, Tuba.
I mean, I'm biased. I will always be biased. When there's a Seraphim in the game, I can't. It's almost illegal for me not to be. I think the only time I'm not is if the piggies are playing. Shout out to the piggies, by the way. Winning last season, winning the season before. They are going to be another force to be reckoned with, and they've now got a feeder team. I mean a second team. Sorry, in this bracket. Led by Captain Cutter himself. So that'll be definitely interesting to see how they do. But yeah, obviously you're on the outside this season, so interesting to see what you think of what we've seen so far.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much just from the results. I haven't seen too much just yet. I know you won yesterday, which is good, right? I believe.
Great game. Honestly, like big.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, big shout out to the side of the Dagestonians. It's a hell of a series. Hopefully we'll get to see some clips at some point of that series. But I mean, it came down to a literal Hail Mary from both sides. It just so happens
A
that
win's a win. A win's
Uma's
a win.
won.
Yeah, a win's a
no,
win. A win's a win.
Yeah, if
I
you get
did,
a chance, have a look on my stream. You'll see it.
I
Shout out Chewbacca Cowboy.
No, I did actually catch a little bit of it. My team were actually saying while we're here, maybe not the best time to do this, but you know, we're still open to scrimming teams, although we're not in the real tournament.
Oh.
So cards on the table, that goes for anybody. Obviously, you know, we're reigning champs of the Weenie Hut Junior bracket. So,
I mean, you guys were never weenies to begin with. Let's be fair, you were a wolf in sheep's clothing that whole season.
I think, well, you know what? I'm not gonna say.
I mean, it's not wrong. You guys dominated the division. So it'll be good. It'll be interesting to see, you know, if any teams will take you off. So it'd be good to see. I would pay to see, you know, a good match. I think you'd give a lot of these hard stuck heroes to run for their money.
Yeah, potentially. I think it'll be good too, just for a little bit of fun, a little bit of you know, Lee Sin bot or Wukong bot or something like that.
Please don't ever do that to me again. That was hell. I still am being kicked back from that game. It was fun. It taught us a lot in what not to do. I do not do this.
Exactly, that's the whole point, right? For fun, for learning, for the experience. That's the main thing here, more than anything. I think we are still having technical issues though, trying to get into game.
So yeah, update, ladies and gentlemen. For some reason, we cannot on both machines. We run League on 2 machines here to get you some extra juicy content. We can't connect via spectator on both machines. Currently trying to restart. All I get on the client is reconnect or quit, and every time it just brings me back to it. So we're going to try something else quickly, see if that will work. If not,
put the stream on delay and then wait till we get the replay file and do it that way. Potentially,
or I might bring up game 2 of the game yesterday, of where
just bring up game 3 just for the ending.
No, don't need to see game 3.
Spoilers.
We don't need the Mundo. We don't need the Mundo. show them game 1 in their movie. That was a fun game.
Spoilers.
How did that go game 1 for you, Aaron?
Eunice says, bin the league game, jump onto its KO. I am down. Let's go.
That is possible. But yeah, I'll give it a few more minutes and I'll come back with an update.
Okay.
Yeah, is it worth maybe putting the stream on a wee pause? Just while we find out. Cool. So yeah, so I believe, folks, we are going to go on a wee 5-minute pause just while we try and sort these technical difficulties. Do not go anywhere. We will hopefully be back with the Chimps versus the side of Hagrid's Hermines. Hope to see you soon. Yeah. Hello and welcome back. We are still in a bit of a tech delay right now. We are hoping to have some progress shortly, Slimsy. But we are still at the moment waiting for the Rito gods to see if we'll actually get to see some live gameplay today.
Yeah, actually, Chuba is kind of half lying there. He didn't want to spoil who won. So if you guys want to re-vote in the chat, you know, for winners, then we can definitely tell you and we can put some prize money back up. Yay! Chuba, zero sound. Chuba, you have zero sound?
I got zero sound. No, I should be heard. 1 2 2 2. La 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 la. Nope.
No.
I should be here. I mean, I think it's just. So that's fine. Yeah, no, so we still don't have any update on if we're getting back in the game anytime soon. But no, I mean, yeah, we can. What was your highlight of last season then, Slimsy? While we're waiting, find out what was happening. And don't say that.
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think I was playing melee champs in the bot. No, I'm kidding. Highlight last season. I think for me it was. Honestly, it was going against Glub in the finals for me personally, from my point of view, because, you know, like you say, we were maybe a little bit higher in the bracket, or a lot higher in the bracket than, you know, was fair, I guess, for the other people. So when I ended up playing against Glub, it was somebody who was kind of, you know, well skilled, very versed in champions, and it made me have to kind of play a lot more serious in that respect. But yeah, I think all in all, it was a bit of a slow season because we only played 3 games, I think, last season, which is a little bit rough. But I think that would have to be the highlight for me. What about you? Is there any big moments you had with Chuba Cowboys last season?
I mean, it was quite fun when we did the stream against you guys. Well, obviously I was kind of on the casting desk rather than the actual field. That was good fun to watch. But no, I think, to be fair, we did have a lot of good moments. I mean, I'm sure. I think Eel Submarine was the team last season, so going against them was fun. But no, it was just good to be a part of. You know, there were so many great streams, so many great matches throughout the divisions. And it's just one of these things that, you know, it's a very different style of tournament this time round. You know, the fact we've got the group stages rather than just that, you know, straight double elimination. For lower bracket, for the weenies, it's great because you're guaranteed a playoff berth. The question is, where the hell are you going to end up and who are you facing? Are you going to be on the easy side of the bracket, or are you going to be on the solid side of the bracket? Because looking at Winnie Huts in particular, on the A side, I think there's 3 teams that really worry me. Obviously, ourselves are quite high up. You know, we proved it last night. Arguably beating the team I had probably as one of the highest, with Bushy, Damas, and Biggs in the mid lane. We don't talk about Jaden, and I don't know much about that top laner. He had some interesting moments. But obviously, you love me, Aaron. But obviously, the other team that really worries me on the east side is Vicky Mendoza. You know, they went 2-0 last night, and they did it with some ease against a team which I was a bit not concerned, but they're so unpredictable because they're going to be role swapping every single round in every single match. So that's definitely intriguing. And then if you look at the other side of the bracket, it's even more chaos. You know, you've got another couple of mashup teams, you've got Mazavara's team, so there's definitely a lot of teams there that can cause upsets, can cause trouble. But for me, the Irish team over there, they're the ones to watch out for. I really fancy them to get the top seed in that bracket at a canter, which is
I think it kind of comes down to, you know, team play more than anything. Like you said yesterday, you played, you wasn't expecting to particularly win, but you were able to win.
I knew it was going to be close. I knew it was going to be close because we faced off against a lot of these guys in a previous tournament in a channel that shall not be named for legal reasons. I plead the fifth. But no, you know, we faced against a lot of them in a tournament. You know, some of them were on the winning team. Some of them were on the second place team, you know, looking at Damas, and then obviously had Bushy, Jaden, and Biggs on the winning team. So we know they can play together well. We know they got the talent The only unknown we had was Aaron, and he played pretty damn well for someone who's not played in a competitive game for a long time. You know, the Nasus was kind of scary.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with the teams just yet, so I gotta do my homework for sure, just to make sure I'm up to scratch with everybody. But I think all in all, like you mentioned previously as well, the group stages will actually add a lot of dynamic to this split. And the main reason is because you have a lot more time to not only make changes, you know, if things are going a bit astray, but also to download your opponents, right? You can see their games in the group stages before you move into the bracket stages, and really get that information to be able to make adjustments on the fly and to really know your opponents before taking them down or fighting them.
Well, that's just it. You know, by the time any team goes into the finals, you know, they're going to have so much content on them. You know, whether it be from previous games, you know, even just results from the brackets. So I'm just intrigued to see what we get. I wonder, production, do we have any update on the situation?
So spectator client whole thing in general is not bugged, but I believe it is the tournament section, or at least our tournament code is not working.
Lovely.
Or something like that. That's why I did just quickly hop into our founder's game. He's just playing, you know, a little scrim just to check, and that is working. So
it basically Rito's just like, we don't want to see the Seraphim. That is exactly what it's saying. Cool. So yeah, I don't know.
You raged too much,
excited.
and then
too excited.
Didn't see it. So we won't be able to see game one live as it is. It is basically up to the audience what we do.
What do you want?
If so, currently we wait for game 2 to come along, and then play that. Hopefully, get to watch that live. And if there's a game 3, or once they finish game 1, we show game 1. So it won't be exactly live. We'll probably be about half an hour, 40 minutes behind everything. Yeah, it's up to, I would say, the audience. But in the meantime, it is up to also the audience and Slimzy if he wants to do a cheeky 2x KO. You know?
I'm down.
That'd be interesting. And I'll try and commentate on what I'm seeing, because I've never played the game, I've never touched anything like that, I don't even have it downloaded. So I'll try my best to do commentary on that.
Eunice, Toki, get your butts in here, boys.
Sadly, Eunice's voice is completely gone as the winter flu has struck.
Oh no, I had that before the year. It is hell.
Oh no. Yeah, it's that time of year though, right? Where everybody's kind of getting flus. You're either on like finishing up with your flu or your cold, or you're just getting the last bit of it
I
from
think I'm
somebody
in
else.
week 1 of it.
Oh,
It's a 2-week thing.
You got a timer on it. So like, if you're not done by 2 weeks, get out of here.
So yeah, in the meantime, whilst we just wait for game 1 to finish, cheeky 2x KO, you know, you've got OBS open right now.
I'm so down. How do we get this started?
Well, you've got OBS open, right? Well, actually, do you know what? We're gonna take another quick 5-minute break. Okay. I'm gonna get this all sorted, and then
I can. I don't mind.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'll take another quick cheeky break.
Capture.
Oh no, actually, you got it there. All right. Yeah. Just do it like that, exactly like that.
Okay, hold on. Let me do a new. 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I don't want it to be blank for ages. No. Waiting for my game to open. Well, you can see my screen here anyway, and you can wait until it loads, and then we'll have boom 2x KO right here. Slimzy, I'll jump on. We can mash buttons. Let's do it. Riot Games. This company sucks. Woo. Some 2x KO. Chuba, you ready? You can commentate.
I can try. Again, I have no idea actually what happens.
Oh, what? Meant to go into the private lobby. See. So, have you ever played fighting games before, Chuba? Do you know anything about kind of, you know, like how it works, or?
I have played a couple of games of the Super Smash Bros. Years ago.
Okay.
So I've got half an idea.
Okay.
But at the same time, not a damn clue.
Okay. Well, you can learn. Maybe you'll join the next 2x KO tournament, whenever that is. I sent you an invite, Toki. Sent you an invite. Where's Eunice? Me and Toki were in the finals actually, so you're gonna see some high-level, top-tier gameplay if he joins.
Well, that's what we want to see. We want to see, you know, top tier. I mean, he's taking his time.
He is. I think he's doing button checks right now to make sure he can mix me up.
Who's your main in this? Have you got a main, or is it just?
Yeah, so normally you have a main, right? There's only like is it 10, 11 champs, I think, or something like that. And normally you pick 2 of them that you like, and you learn how to play them, right? You learn all the mix-ups, you learn the combos, all that sort of thing. I don't know if Eunice is on his way, but you'll see, obviously, I guess, a lot of the gameplay and how it works. We might as well jump in here, Toki, so we can I would say this would be a good fight. Yeah. Yeah, basically, you got a few champs, and I have 2 mains. I play Ari and Alawi mainly. I played a couple of other champs, but I train sometimes with the 5DK team just for fun.
Exciting.
But yeah, I'll show you the roster, and maybe you can see who you would play normally. Here's the roster. There you go. You got 11 champs, and you have actually Caitlyn coming out as well. So Ari, Echo, Vi, Yasuo, Jinx, Braum, Darius, Teemo, Blitz, Alawi, and Warwick. Take your pick.
I mean, I can tell you, it definitely won't be the Scout. Don't know who would main him. Probably Jinx. Probably Jinx, because it's Jinx. I had a game of Jinx just as a Swift play just before coming in here. You know, a good pal of mine, and that was fun.
Okay.
The great part was we were trying to teach somebody how to play, so we'd stuck him on Yumi just to get some experience, not have to worry about what exactly he's doing, because he tried playing Ziggs, and while we were getting ransacked, he was pushing the side lanes. So standard things behavior.
Classic.
Yeah, I know, right? So like, you know what? Like, I'll play ADC. And we'll see what he can do on Yumi and all that. So we got to the late game. We had a Tristana Tristana jungle that just decided to constantly push top lane instead of farming his camps. And we almost got to the point we could actually play the game with me being kind of fed, which is quite surprising, being an actual ADC, but Jinx just does Jinx things. So yeah, here we go. We have Alawi and Ari against Yasuo. I didn't see who the second champion was. And Echo, here we go.
Echo.
So they're both dancing about. We've got some blades coming out. This is going to be a great clip. Yasuo gets knocked back. I can't really see so much because it's gone fuzzy. I don't know if that's just me on the stream. Yasuo doing Yasuo stuff. Ari dashing. Ari ults. Knocks everyone up. Yasuo gets... I have no idea what's going on. You can barely see. But that's not just me that sees the pixels. So yeah, something's happening on the screen. And Echo falls. And here comes the Windshitter. Trying to fight his girlfriend. Here we go. And he's down. Absolutely smashed. Night, Yasuo. Here we go again. This is exactly what all these viewers on Kick tuned into to see 2KO instead of League.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have an update. Game 1 has finished. I repeat, Game 1 has finished. So, I need some like 1s and 2s in the chat of basically, do you want
for
to
game
see...
1, game
Yes.
2 for game 2.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to see game 1? Hit up with a 1. If you want to see, just go straight into live of game 2 when that starts, and put a 2 in chat.
I will say with 2 weeks, there's no guarantee it'll work as well. That's something you got to think of as well.
I have a solution potentially to sort that out. Yeah.
Again, yeah, we're just dashing on the screen. Someone's got a combo by the looks of it. Can barely see the screen. I mean, this isn't even a close game.
Okay, so I think we got 2s. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a break. Well, we'll let this set play out, then we'll go to a break. We'll set up the lobby for game 2. I will announce then who won game 1. And if I can grab some stats, I'll grab some stats for that, and we'll go on from there. Apologies, this is usual Riot Games bullshit.
We will hopefully be back soon, folks.
Damn. I guess we're going to game 2. GG's Toki, GG's. I look forward to the next 2x KO tournament. 5-minute break. Okay, cool. I'll stop streaming on here then for now. Oh, it should update my... There we go. GG's.
Yes, then. And yeah, we're going to take a short break, folks, and hopefully we should be back with game number 2. We'll see you soon.
See you in a bit.
Yeah. ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at the Mini LCS. And well, sorry, the 2KO XK. Wait, no, we are. Wait, this is the Mini LCS. Yes, we are on Mini LCS League of Legends stream, and we now are coming to Game 2's draft between the good chimps and the side of Hagrid's Hermione's. I don't still fully know the result. I did see rumours that chimps had won it, but I have not seen any stats. We have no proof. I'm intrigued to see what draft 2 is going to have in store for us.
Yeah, exactly. I think the biggest thing, obviously, we don't really know what went on, but we can definitely see if we can see a similar comp setup from both teams, right? One being teamfight orientated, and the other one being kind of a scaling and domination style comp. And if Chimps did win, which is the news that we think we have, like Chiba said, we don't know for sure, then it means they were doing a really good job of that scaling, right? Able to then utilize the Smolder and the Gwen to maybe take over the game.
And yeah, if it is the case, obviously I am broke, but it's fine. I'll still always bet on the Seraphim because it works out in the end. But no, like at the end of the day, you know, I'll be interested to see if that is the case, how the Hermione's do adapt. Do you put your jungle on a more aggressive pick like the Hecarim or like the Evelyn rather than relying on the Amumu? Because if it has been that he maybe wasn't as comfortable on it and he didn't quite have the same results, putting him on something like even a Karthus, the Hermione, the Evelyn, it might be better. But with that, we are now jumping straight back into Champs Select, and we do see they've swapped sides. The Chimps are on blue side and Hagrid are on red. We see the Sejuani, Jinx, Sevier, Silas, and the Twisted Fate already being banned out.
Exactly, yeah, we see similar bans like you mentioned on the other side as well, having the Jinx, the Sivir band, and the Silas in place of the J4. And going into the first pick, we have Malphite insta-lock.
Oh no,
super quick. Leaving that open, I guess, was a mistake on the side of Hagrid's Hermione's, and I'm really intrigued to see how they'll utilize that Malphite to be able to create picks in the mid stage of the game.
It's just a really well placed Silas ban in the end. You know, that blue 3, there was not much red side could do to answer. Although you probably still could have, but they obviously had their sets on it.
Yeah, for sure. I think whoever's going at Malphite, a good idea is to go for.
And there it is, the Hecarim.
They have the Hecarim, exactly. Hecarim coming in. That's what we saw, right? The carry side of Hagrid's Hermione's. That guy likes to play carries. Last game, maybe he went for the Amumu. It didn't work out super well. And now he's going for the Hecarim to maybe show us truly what they can do in the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, the jungle role, you know, everyone's got their own style. And if you are trying something different, or it's not the mindset you want to play, it can have a massive, massive impact. So going with comfort, going with a Hecarim, I really like this adaptation from the Hermione's. My only question is, though, where's this front line going to come?
I agree completely, because last time we saw the Amumu in the jungle, right, and we saw the Braum in support, but they have Karma instead. And it seems like now that Good Chimp actually picking up the Misfortune and Leona seem to have that solidified team fight style comp even with just like I said, Misfortune, Leona, Malphite, and Akali being hovered as the third pick on the side of Hagrid's Hermione's.
So yeah, we're getting a very different, as locked in, we see two very different strategies here. We see the Chimps going for the very much, we're just going to smash those R buttons all together, while Hagrid are going to try and pick you off before the team fight really starts. You know, trying to get onto this Misfortune. Problem is, Malphite can off from a million screens away. If this Leona can get a hook, that Solar Flare is going to do so much to set up the bullet time. And we haven't even got the last two picks yet.
100%, but we're like you mentioned, we're seeing completely different styles of play. It feels like both teams have kind of flipped the script, right? One of them is going more team fight orientated as far as we can see now, and the other one's going more carry focus, potentially trying to look for snowball potential across the game here. First ban coming out on the side of Hagrid's Hermione's in the second phase was Victor, followed up by the Ezreal in return, and then a quick ban by of Diana even, which is interesting. I didn't expect that pick. Not sure if anyone plays Diana, but looks like we have two ADC bans coming out from the
Four
Chimps.
ADC bans. Four ADC bans.
In the second phase even, sorry, I meant. But yeah, 4 ADC bans in total. You're correct, very much so. That is a lot of bans on one champion.
So they obviously put a lot of focus onto Asteroid here. for the side of the Hermiones. He must have had a good game, that they feel that they have to spend 4 bans to try and ban him out, and he's still going to get his hands on a champion like Caitlyn, which I don't know much about this season with the Caitlyn, but last season she was in a very strong position.
100%. That champ with the range and the amount of damage that she can output is definitely a nightmare to deal with. I did mention, I think before, Asteroid, yeah, like you said, Emerald 2 probably doing the most on their team, maybe showing a few tricks that they're not familiar with, so they feel like if they can negate a lot of that power, they'll have an easier time actually winning out in this team fight. So when we see a Veigar going in the mid lane, this zone control and space control from the side of Chimps will be insane. Leona, you can't walk forward without being locked down. The cage will solidify targets both inside and around the cage, and then Malphite obviously just selected Queen once.
I'm sorry, I do not like Zed. So this said jungle is going to have so much fun, because we're going to assume the Malphite now is going topside instead of the jungle. So Zed's a nice assassin to try and counter this pick play. I would like to have seen something slightly different.
Yeah.
I think you have to lock them. I don't know. You're going to go off instead.
Okay, you need the damage, right? You need the damage. You have the Malphite, you have the Leona, you have the zone control with the Veigar. Zed can pump out the damage. I think it's okay. It's a carry pick. It's quite strong now from what I'm aware of, so we'll see. The answer on the other side was Ornn though, and that's going to be their engager, seems like, on the side of Hagrid's Hermiones, and it's a solid pick to get the fight started and find some picks for themselves.
So I'm going to assume we're going to see a full shield Karma, which, if anyone doesn't know, is one of the most disgusting champions in the game. Dark Lord Aaron knows all about that from last night. The fact the shields can literally shield the whole bloody health bar and keep an ADC alive for days, even though they're like a slither of health. Yep. But I love that you got to pair that with the Ornn, with the engage. Caitlyn can shoot from a million miles away. They just have to get this Hecarim into the fight, and without seeing the stats, you gotta assume, this change in strategy is what Hagrid's hoping will change their fortunes. On the other side though, this Leona misfortune combo in the bot lane, I just, if Leona can get pressure on this Caitlyn, she can't play the game.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the Caitlyn and Karma, right, they have a lot of range between them, which is really nice. Karma can do a good job of poking out Leona and keeping out range. As soon as the lockdown comes in though from the Leona and Misfortune, if she is able to land the Zenith Blade onto one of the targets, can definitely cause some issues for both the Caitlyn and Karma. So we'll definitely have to see how that plays out in the bot side there. But ultimately, I think it's going to come down to this Hecarim pick, to be honest. If he's able to maybe get ahead early on, tailor the build depending on if he's going full lethality or damage based or bruisery based. I think that's going to be really impactful to see how they pull off picks games.
Yeah, let's have a look at the stats, because I believe from production we are getting them through. So it'll be interesting to see what actually happened and see the builds. So yeah, hopefully we're going to look on the monitors to see it. Oh, holy hell! That's
that's a big yeah. Okay, so we have 8k gold on the side of the Chimps in 25 minutes. That's pretty big. Damn. I think a bigger thing to note is the 10 towers. My god.
Yeah, 10 towers, that's every tower pretty much. Do we know what the roll lines were? What stat lines were, or was it just utterly disgusting? That's big yikes.
I guess production will take a look at that and know, but based on what I can see on the screen here, this side there was a lot of fight over objectives, right? We knew that the side of Hagrid's Hermiones had that team fight oriented style. They were able to contest Drakes, get 2 for themselves, but it looks like in the solo lanes, as kind of expected, or maybe the bot lane as well, I guess, they weren't able to really gather enough control to be able to take those towers, clearly. And that's yeah, man.
Yeah, no, that kills Scream that, it wasn't a big massive diff in terms of skill ability. It was just macro. The ability to go around the map, actually push pressure where you need to with these dragons. And we talked earlier about how these plates give so much more money. That is a big factor in this diff we see in the gold line. You got to think, 10 gold, 10 golds worth of towers isn't a small sum. But the fact that they didn't even get one, quite surprising.
Yeah, 100%. I think, Jack saying in the chat, kills were close, stats say macro diff. I agree completely, similar to what you said also. But if you think about the champs that were played in the last game, we had like Gwen versus Zac. Gwen absolutely rolls Zac in, most stages of the game, I would say. Zac can't really fight the Gwen. In the mid lane, what did we have? We had the Seraphine versus the...
As against Mel, which isn't actually like
against
if Seraphine could just play around that W, it's, she's got decent wave clear. I would expect she would have a decent stat line, especially in terms of gold. I don't think, unless as Mel got ultra fed, I think she would have a steady stat line. But like, especially with the kills being close, I don't think she'll have been humbled too much. I would love to not be proved wrong, Aaron. But no, I think exactly. I think it will come down to this top lane. The fact that these tower def, you got to think the Gwen had a free reign over the Rift.
100%, and like we spoke about as well, right? It's not just the towers anymore, it's the extra plates you get on those extra towers, which funnel the gold, and that's where we can see the gold lead coming in here. Towers equate to gold. If you're able to get towers, tons of gold. Throw up the stats here, which is really, oh my goodness.
You know what? This actually doesn't surprise me. So the big thing here is with the Seraphine, I want you to look at the overall score. Yes, 2 kills isn't crazy, but the difference in the assists, and as much as Mel had 14 kills, not all of them were Seraphine. If that was, 2 and 14, it might be a different story. But Seraphine will never be the same kind of damage carry as a Mel.
I agree.
That's not her purpose. That's not her purpose.
Nope, I agree. I think she's built for mid lane and she's built for support, but she's mainly tailored around the support focus, right? I agree, Mel will pump out more damage. I think ultimately what this screams to me that I'm thinking about from the game is that they didn't actually have enough damage to be able to deal with the side of chimps, right? You had the Zac, you had the Amumu, you had Braum. Both of them, all of them are tanks, and if Seraphine is doing this much damage in fights, means she's not equipped enough to be able to carry those fights. And you only have the Vayne, right? Vayne needs time to scale, so ultimately
I'll be interested to see the build on the Seraphine, because I would imagine with this being a mid to high elo game, you would have seen some AP items, but I think if the game's been getting away from you, especially with this 14 and 2 Mel and that gold at 15, it would have pivoted to a much more supportive role, which obviously takes that damage way down. Whereas I think if you go Ludens first and then you go into something like Rylai's, you're supportive, but you've still got a decent whack of damage. Either that or you go the Blackfire route. But what screams to me is that she's got a much more supportive role, relying on this Vayne, which we talked about. And that's my concern, is Vayne's maybe not got as ahead as she wanted. And that's why we're in this. That's why they got in that situation. But it's quite clear that she's played a very team role, which is a Seraphine. That's all you can really do.
Yeah, no, I understand what you mean. Like we mentioned, the Vayne, if she doesn't get online, she's not able to do the damage that she wants to do, then she's not going to be able to. And clearly we can see that there. The damage share from the Seraphine was 17%. The Mel had double the amount of damage per minute. It was, definitely probably the highlight of that game, I guess. But we will see, hopefully, if there are any adjustments that they can make in this second game.
Well, that's it. I hope we get an adjustment so we get a game 3. Otherwise, it might be a nice early quick stream. But yeah, no, I'll be interested to see what happens. I'm only going to find out hopefully soon. Hopefully, production can give us a rough timing on how long we're going to be.
We should be in shortly. We had the same issue, but I have managed to find a workaround, so give us a minute. We'll be in.
Yeah. Okay. So seemingly there's been some small tech issues still. Oh, they had that, fabulous. So yeah, we are hopefully going to be into game very shortly. So before we get there, Slim, say final predictions.
I think Hagrid's Hermione's will put it out. Actually, they maybe were like, maybe they were nervous, or maybe something was going on, or I don't know, maybe they were just getting more comfortable. But the kills look quite close, right? It was just towers. So if we can see a small change from them, then I think they might take the cake.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it is going to come down to execution on both sides, and hopefully, you know, the side of Hagrid's can learn from the mistakes, and we'll see success in game number 2. You know, I'm intrigued to see what happens. I fear though this Malphite, Misfortune and Leona combo just a bit scary for me. I fear for everyone who's not a tank. And even then, don't know how much tank will survive.
It's a little bit scary. Yeah, a little bit scary for sure. I'm intrigued to the execution. I'm intrigued with execution for sure. And if the Malphite as well will go for AP or tank, right? You can kind of go both builds. If you're ahead, you know, and you take Comet in lane, then AP does fairly well, able to punish your lane opponents and then use that ult to find picks. But
I think in the top lane, especially when you've got the Zed, you have to go the tank option. But we are finally, folks, I can't believe my eyes, we're actually getting into a game of League of Legends here, as we see the good chimps on the blue side going against Hagrid's Hermione. And yeah, here we are, straight into game. And
yes, finally, into game. Ooh, let's go. Nice stuff. Okay, brilliant. Right now, it looks like both teams are trying to contest vision. Yeah, you can see the Akali actually putting the ward.
Yeah, we do see the Malphite walking up. Yeah, classic 5 points all the way across.
Yeah, exactly that. You know, just general defense, good ward coverage, just to make sure they can see what's going on the map. You can see that the Malphite is going for Grasp here as he's trading with the Ornn, which is not really the aggressive pushing out sort of Comet rune that you would take normally. So they're probably just going to be two meatheads slapping each other and waiting for mid-game fights.
Yeah, and we are going to see a lot of folk already using this mantra from the Karma. I mean, it's a broken champion. And the Ornn's doing a decent whack of damage on Malphite. I mean, we agreed that, you know, tank Malphite has to be the play here, because you're apart from the Leona, you are one of the only frontline people for the Veigar, Zed, and Misfortune to be able to play the game. I'm intrigued to see how this Veigar Akali matchup goes, though. Because it all comes down to the placement of that cage.
Yeah, 100%. I guess it'll be a bit difficult for Akali in the early game, I would imagine, right? Because she finds it quite difficult to get on top of the Veigar, I would imagine, as long as he's spacing fairly well. But later on, when it comes to side lanes and the cage is down, I imagine Akali will be able to find a lot of ground versus the Veigar. Malphite taking a ton of damage in the top lane, though, potentially in critical HP range there. He's got to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, both a lot of damage.
By the way, as well. Sorry, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of damage already. And yeah, the junglers, as you say, are going towards the bot side. But the Zed is so much faster than this Hecarim. So he's going to have to get to this bot lane first. I mean, Hecarim still needs Gromp to go. Well, meanwhile, Zed is already looking to path towards this scuttle. But we see the knock up on the Malphite up in the top lane. Ornn doesn't quite have the damage yet. It's starting to get low on mana, so has to be careful here. But the Malphite isn't that up, but he crucially has that level advantage over that. As they are going to spot out the Zed over on the scuttle. And we are going to see Karma walking up to try and challenge this. And looks like we are going to get an early fight. Karma's here, Akali's walking down as well, and Zed will have to run away.
Yeah, he had to peace out immediately, right? He managed to get the scuttle, which is good. That's all he wants. He doesn't want to engage. He needs kind of time to scale up, get his ult, look for picks, that sort of thing.
And now he's going right. There's Akali here. Yeah, Akali does land the Shrieking onto the Veigar, but she decides against it with the Zed still in tow. A lot of damage there from the headshot from the Caitlyn, and now Misfortune has to be careful.
Yeah, for sure. I think in that bot lane you can kind of see what we expect, right? The Caitlyn and the Karma have so much range. Leona can't really engage that much early on, unless she gets the kind of level advantage. But I think the Caitlyn and Karma were able to get the advantage, able to use that to pressure them on the tower, start to punish down the Misfortune as well, and really put the bot lane in a bad situation or CS deficit. In the top lane though, we see some action going on, but not much is going to happen of it in the end. And I think for the meantime, it's just going to be, like we said, the bot lane pushing in, doing their thing. Jungle is going to reset back to top side and try and look for some camps on the map.
Yeah, I mean, this Ornn is absolutely having the run of top lane. You never would guess that. they're the team one down, but we are going to see the Leona go in with engage onto the Caitlyn. A lot of damage on the manager though comes in return, and Caitlyn will claim that first play of the game down on the bot side.
Yeah, really nice stuff. You can see it's translating to plates now already. Those plates have a lot less HP, or the earlier plates have a lot less HP anyway than they did before. And the pressure that the chimps are, that Hagrid's Hermione's are applying now onto the chimps is amazing. Really, really good. And maybe this will hopefully lead into more towers this game than last game, hopefully.
Yeah, interesting to see that Karma didn't quite manage to land the root there onto the Luna, but and the Caitlyn is going to reset their lead. Karma just a wee bit behind. A wee bit off tempo now as they're now going to channel that back.
Yeah, exactly. Really good point. It's gonna hurt them a little bit. I'm still waiting for Attica, and I'm thinking in my head like, oh yeah, I'm thinking that far ahead, but it's gone. It's not here. Attica's not here.
Well, that's just it. For those who are new and somehow haven't managed to play a game this season yet, or watch any of the pre-season games from the pro leagues, you know, Attica is no more. Feats of Strength are no more. We got brand new season, brand new chills, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects the gameplay here. And we're going to see a Kali go looks up the back of the Vega. Manages to do it, but takes a shot to Zed, and Zed has done a lane gank here on the bot side. They don't know he's here. Hecarim is in the area as well. We look like we're going to get a big fight to start the game here on the bot side. Hecarim is waiting for his moment for the charge. They will spot the Zed though, as they are going to go onto the Karma. Hecarim is here, and they're going to try and push him back. Pushes Zed, doesn't quite get him into tower range, has to use the shadow to escape, and somehow nobody is dead yet. But Hecarim wants more. You see the TB coming down from the Akali, making this a 4v3, but nobody is going to die. They're all going to walk away, but that should be first dragon to the Hermione's.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely have to translate that into something, right? Akali burning TP for that bot lane play and not getting anything from it should at least, like you said, hopefully get the Drake. And, you know, besides that, Veigar does get a little bit of space to push in the wave, which is really good for Veigar. It's going to help with the scaling a lot. And I think ultimately the chimps are doing a really good job of applying pressure, right? They managed to counteract the gank in the bot side, translate that into a Drake, which is nice, and potentially maybe look for something in the top lane.
Yeah, we hear the on horn be sounding on the Malphite. We'll get knocked up, so he doesn't get the second jump, but it doesn't matter! We see Lucky with the first kill in the top lane, but Zed is here to try and trade one back, and he'll get it! Volley to tower shot, but it will be first kill to the Hermione's, but the chimps will answer back.
Chuba, the flash brittle proc. I don't know if you played against Ornn in the top lane, but that thing does a ton of damage, and you can see how much damage it did there to the Malphite. Probably unexpected, going down in 1v1. Fortunately, Zed was able to clean up the kill, as you mentioned. But as we're mentioning that, we can continue to see this bot lane applying a lot of pressure, doing so much damage to the Leona, which makes her unable to engage pretty much. And I think we should be playing bot side as Hecarim so we can translate that poke into dive kills and into more objectives all around.
Yeah, he is clearly pathing that way on his I think third clear by this point, which is quite good. Actually, second clear, sorry. Both junglers are still only on that second clear. As we see Ornn diving in again onto this Malphite. Malphite doesn't have ult, and neither does Luke on the Ornn. But yeah, both junglers passing back down towards this bot side. Zed has a comfy lead here. As the back's going to cancel. Oh, Leona jumps to the tower. I don't know if but the bullet time will land with a solar flare, and that's a kill for this Misfortune onto the Karma. Thanks to bullet time. I was just going to say Caitlyn had a great start to the game with this Karma, with the poke, but it will be first blood in the bot lane to the Bilgewater Pirate.
Yeah, so what I think actually could be better there, right? The Hecarim actually did path top and was pathing bot, but if he just goes bot directly, he takes whatever camps are there and invades, he'll be in a good spot to be able to help his bot lane rather than going for his top lane camps. But as we're saying that, I mean, the only benefit of Leona Karma dying there, she gets an easy walk up to here, but we are all here, and we're going to see the Kali going in on the back line, trying to get the Veigar, doesn't quite get it, gets stuck by the Leona. Now we're going to see Malphite jumping into all of them, but we see the cavalry charge from the Hecarim, but I'm afraid it's going to be a little too late. A double kill for the Zed. He looks for more, and the Hecarim is next on the chopping block. Another Veigar cage does go wide. He did get one grub before he has to run away, but he's somehow going to get away, and Ornn is here. And yeah, I don't think you get this Horseman's getting away. The Ornn will come out. Bug knock up on the Veigar does stop the first strike proccing, and a double knock up there. He's going to get one. Can he get more than that? He gets the Veigar. Probably has to pay his life for it.
but he's going to do a lot of damage in the meantime. So a bad situation there for the Hermione's losing 2 grubs. But at least they got a couple of kills back, and this Ornn is now mega accelerated.
Yeah, I think Ornn doing pretty well, managed to get a couple of kills for himself, but I think more importantly, the Zed is the person who is super strong right now, right? He's the one that's going to be pumping out the damage. You don't need the Malphite or the Leona to be getting ahead. You barely even need Veigar to get ahead. He needs to farm safely. So with Zed having a lot of the kills, it's really going to make a lot of these fights for objectives and plays around the map super difficult. Especially with that Volcanic Cyclosword, I think it is.
Yeah, Voltaic Cyclosword, yeah.
Yeah, that actually does a ton of damage, and I'm expecting to see some snowball here, but we have to see how it plays out and see where Zed plays across the map.
Yeah, we see the Leona coming out onto the Karma, will land the hook as well. Zed is in the area and Karma's just dead. You can shield all you like, but you're not shielding enough for there yet. Hecarim is in the area, the side against it. Caitlyn's getting a bit ballsy here walking up. They obviously know Hecarim is there, and Hecarim is going to come in, doesn't quite have his ult back up yet. Meanwhile, up on the top lane, Malphite is fighting. They are going to back off on the bot side. But I just don't know what these two are trying to do into this Ornn at the moment, because with the Zeke's item, yeah, that's great, but it does no damage. Yeah. It's purely, exactly, I'm going to ult in and do all that. As Akali somehow dodges all the cages. Don't know what the hell happened there.
Yeah, this Ornn right now seems to be kind of dominating the lane, which is really good against the Malphite. Karma maybe walking up a little bit too far, but it's going to walk back. But yeah, I think ultimately Hagrid and Hermione's are really trying to find lane domination, right? You can see in the bot lane, they're very lane dominant. They're able to use the range to do a lot against the enemy team. The Ornn being very lane dominant against the Malphite, but it seems like the chimps are not really playing for that at all. They seem to be just finding picks across the map, fighting for objectives in the top side, as you saw with the grubs, and looking for picks just where they can, and it seems to be working for them, because right now they have a 2k goal lead over Hagrid's Hermione's.
Yeah, and if you look at how that's split up, you've got 500 in the top lane in favour of the Ornn, 1.3k in the jungle thanks to those 3 kills, and a massive farm advantage for this Zed. And that's where we say there's a disadvantage, as we see Caitlyn's just dead. Meanwhile, see the cavalry charge coming, doesn't literally, had that been a second later, you probably would have stopped the channel off the bullet time. Instead, Caitlyn dies. First death for her. As we see, Miss Fortune has already completed her quest, but as the first one to do it, but because she has no boots at the moment, doesn't really see any benefit of it apart from the enhanced money and the enhanced money she's going to get from these kills. Meanwhile, on the top side, the Malphite is actually ahead looking at the graphics of this Ornn. And yeah, the Veigar is ahead as well, as Blue Team will take the second Drake of the game.
Yeah, they get the second Drake, which is good. Means that they can slow down the stacking. Of course, they only got 1 Drake on the side of Hagrid and Hermione's. Ornn is actually ahead on the top side here against the Malphite, and he's able to apply a lot of pressure to not only keep Malphite in lane, but to push him out of lane so that he can't, apply any pressure elsewhere on the map, basically. And I think the one thing to note, there's a very interesting first item for Malphite, which I don't particularly agree with because it doesn't really do much for your lane, but Zeke's Convergence.
Yeah, I touched on it earlier. He's clearly, their whole comp is built around his R and the Misfortune R, and they are just a press R kind of team. So the fact you're buying that, you are fully committing and saying to the world, as Malphite somehow appeared down on the bot side, as Leona will get the stun, and here it is, and this is exactly why, going in with the R, Karma will just die. Caitlyn trying to get something back. We haven't seen Ace in the hole, doesn't do enough damage quite yet. But
that's crazy.
Ornn's going to do a lot of damage, and Malphite is just going to say, "Wee, I'm back up the top."
That's crazy. And the Malphite walked all the way down bot lane, right? He didn't even TP down there, nothing. He walked all the way down there, flash, ulted both the Caitlyn and the Karma, and managed to help his team secure a kill. TP stop, collects the wave, and he's really applying a lot of pressure along on the map even. Saying that, Hecarim is now bot side, potentially looking for a gank onto the Misfortune as he engages onto her.
The ultimate doesn't quite land. The Caitlyn Q goes wide as well. But we haven't seen Akali come and join the fight, and he's going to go straight onto the Misfortune. Misfortune gets burned, and the barrier does come out, and unfortunately he's going to get absolutely sliced up by the Akali, but now she's caught, and the Zed, this is night for the Hermione's. So 2-game series for the chimps. This was I just don't see any comeback from this. You know, a 5-0 Zed, 2-1 Veigar, 2-1 Misfortune, and a whole comp that literally just wants to press buttons at you. You're relying on this Akali getting ahead. Believe me, I know this all too well, but you got 2.2k lead in the jungle, 1.2 on the ADC. This is painful for the Hermiones. They need to just hope that this Ornn can get ahead enough that he can help bring everyone in. But this is, this is not a fun situation.
I think this Ornn is obviously just running over the Malphite here, like we mentioned, but with the Zed being so far accelerated now, it will be really hard for the Hermiones, 100%, especially with all the CC behind the Zed, right? You have the Leona, you've got the Veigar cage and the Malphite. It really will be very difficult. Just reading chat, Zed really flashed to deny Veigar extra AP. Yeah, worth, my opinion.
100%. Imagine giving a Veigar AP. Who'd want it?
Honestly.
No, I mean, the big thing is, like, it's not as if Hermione's, you know, they had a great start, they were really oppressive, they just didn't do much with it. You know, and this Zed getting so far ahead, you know, he got onto his jungle item completion way before this Hecarim did. That mixed up with the kills, I mean, Hecarim can't even, he has to walk away from a Leona in his own jungle at the moment. But Akali will land the shriek in there. Maybe Zayn against it, yeah. We are going to see Caitlyn and Karma rotate into this mid lane. As we see the Ornn gets sounded. Yeah, Ornn is going to get sounded, but he doesn't quite land it. And that would just allow the Malphite and the Zed just to walk down and take Shelly.
Yeah, like you said, the Caitlyn and Karma now moved into the mid lane. I think it's a little bit too soon to do this, and it's going to give first tower over to the Chimps here, I believe. Akali's going to struggle a lot in this side lane. I think Akali's probably the only answer for them for now to be able to find plays and create picks. So I think it weakens them a lot unless they're going for an objective, which it seems like they are actually, which, you know, I guess isn't too bad, but I don't think overall it's going to help them too much later into the game. But we'll see how it pans out. You don't know. They're trying to make plays. They're trying to do stuff across the map. It makes sense. They're 5k gold behind. So they're really,
and they're going to get gifted. They're getting gifted a free Shelly, so they might actually take a tower this game, but not going to be first tower because that's going to fall in the bot side as mid lane tower falls at exact same time. So that's two towers synchronistically falling. And if you look at the amount of what do you call it, stacks on these towers, you got 2 in top lane, 5 in mid lane, and still a couple in the bot lane. Oh my lord, the Malphite goes in, and when this is where you see the Zeke's coming in, and Zed's here as well, coming out the shadows. Hecarim will come in to try and get them away, but Caitlyn will just fall. The Solar Flare comes in to stop the car as well, the lock cover as well. Hecarim's next on the chopping board. Will manage to run away. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah,
it's looking pretty rough. What I'm seeing here, right, is like first game, Chimps were able to kind of go over standard teamfight comp and really show what they can do. And in this game, they feel a bit more comfortable in picking some picks that they can carry with, right? And this Malphite, although Zeke's doesn't really give you lane stats, like you said, he's utilizing it for the ult. He's just finding picks for his team and getting kills into objectives, and it seems to be working.
No, that's just it, and that's another Drake going across to the side of the Chimps. And yeah, we want to see the Ornn come out, but he just gets stopped by the cage. He can't quite get off before walking into the cage. And we're at a situation now. How do you come back in? It's 18 tower plates to 7 in favour. A 6.3k gold lead at 18 minutes. This game has snowballed really, really quickly.
I think I don't
there's nobody to pick.
I don't really see many options for the side of Hagrid Hermiones. I think the only thing they can do, which may be an opening, is using that Ornn or the ultimate per se to look for picks, right? If you see someone out of position or in a side lane, you can use it from long range to get a pick, get the Akali in, get the Hecarim in before the rest of the team comes, and then translate that into something. But the problem with that is that it gives the side of the Chimps to be able to make a play somewhere else or get an objective, which is not very promising for the side of Hagrid Hermiones. And you can see here, Tuba, Malphite going in, looking for a play onto the Hecarim, doing big damage.
Yeah, we're going to see Akali on the Veigar, finally gets him through the cage, but we'll end up just getting stuck on the backside. And yeah, it's just so rough for the side of for the Mines. They lose another tower, and Akali's gonna die as well. Arimeria on a killing streak.
Yeah, crazy stuff. You can see there Akali trying to make a play. I think it was a good Hail Mary play, right? She wants to get kills, she wants to get more gold, she wants to see if she can carry the game, but she was not able to, unfortunately. It was close, but Veigar does get a kill, and that's going to push them further behind. It's going to allow Veigar to push in a couple of waves, allow Veigar to get that tower topside, and we can kind of see a little bit of repeat in terms of towers here. I mean, Hagrid's Hermione's do have one tower overall, but the Chimps have many more, right? They have what, 1, 2, 3, I think they have 4 towers now, going on 5 and 6. I think overall it's gonna be really hard for them to get back into the game. Almost 10k goal behind now.
Yeah, and we are going to see, they're all going to try and group up here, but top lane has got a 2v3 here. As we see Misfortune Leona taking on the jungler and the top lane all on his own. Hecarim tries to go forward, doesn't quite get much. The Brittle Proc doesn't do anything as the On Horn will come back out. And we don't get to see what it does because we're too busy watching the ward killed by the Akali. As another tower will fall in the top lane. As now the Akali gets jumped on by the Malphite, and I think this is just lights out.
He doesn't care about any towers.
Who needs a tower? Malphite is still alive, and Caitlyn, the barrier is doing what? Oh my lord, that Veigar damage. And now the On is probably the next one to be targeted. Will get hooked up. I don't even know what to say. It's just utter carnage, devastation. This is MiniLCS, folks. And Good Chimps are coming out here with a statement. 10k gold lead at 20 minutes. They said 25 minutes was too long. We're looking to end it in under 23 here. Just absolutely sieging. Baron is up, and you'd imagine once they get this, that's exactly where they're going to set their sights.
Yeah, for sure. I imagine they will. But we have a play going on in the mid lane here. You can see the Hecarim trying to engage, not really doing too much, unfortunately.
We got killed.
Standing a little bit too far up, dying to the tower, unfortunately. Veigar's here now, putting down the cage, not able to do much, unfortunately. And looks like Hagrid's Hermione's were trying to get a pick there. They were able to get one, but I don't know if it's going to be super beneficial for them, unfortunately. Like you mentioned previously, right? They're just going to recall and go for the Baron now more often than not.
Yeah, I don't even think they are. I think they're just going to put pressure on these towers, try and utterly choke them out. I mean, Hecarim doesn't have a jungle anymore, so he's just going to constantly lose more and more CS. Shelly is summoned to try and just tank for the minions, to try and tank for the tower to save its life. A different use of Shelly, but it can't even save the tower. Shelly does just, the tower does get destroyed while Shelly's up. It's just not that tower. So that is now all outer towers destroyed for the side of Good Chimps. You know, they're utterly dominating this game, and they've only lost one, so they've lost one this whole series.
Yeah, exactly. 1 tower in 2 games is not a lot of towers. And I've seen Shelly do more work in TFT, but looks like the Caitlyn is now a little bit more overextended. Gets ult on by the Malphite here. Now she's in a really good position. Hecarim going in, not able to do too much. Leona flash forward, getting a Q. MF following up, doing a bunch of damage. Leona trying to lock down the Hecarim, but not able to do too much. Akali is here now, trying to see if you can find a pick, but it's not really going to translate into anything. Like you said, Chuba, they're going to go push more towers, get this mid lane tower into the inhib potentially.
This could be game. Yeah, I mean, if we look, if we look at the items as well, you know, this Zed is on 3 items. He has a shield cutter down with the Serpent's Fang, whereas Hecarim literally just has the Shojins. And yeah, with the differences with these jungle items, that is huge. You know, this Veigar has a fully stacked Rod of Ages. He has his fully stacked serfs. He has 10 full stacks on the Medjais, and he has a Rabadons. He's giga fed, and Akali has a gun lead.
The side of Hagrid's Hermione they basically all have 1 item each. The one has 2, but I mean, you know, they're not that expensive, those tank items. 1 item compared to 3 items on the other side by your counterparts is not very promising. It does not look very good at all. And with the amount of gold influx you get this season from the towers, from the plates, you know, from the role quests, you can snowball these like this very quickly. That's
39 tower plates for this side of Good Chimps here.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that.
Like, just 7. Like, this is where all this gold influx is coming. 12k lead at 24 minutes. Note to every team, just pick a team that can siege. You don't need to have damage, you don't need that, you just need to be able to siege and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I guess so, because that's where all the gold comes from. We're seeing a big difference in terms of kills from the first game. I think it was 21 to 19, and this one 18 to 4. It's not even close in kills. It looks like a complete domination from the Chimps as they take their 8th tower of the game. All coming in from the Malphite here into the Misfortune. Piling on tons of damage. Zed actually getting with the backline here, doing nice damage. Hecarim now in a bad spot, locked down by the Leona. All walking a little bit too far forward. Malphite almost going down, all trying to escape here. Is able to use the E. Veigar cage coming down, looking to get land on the Caitlyn there. Leona locks her up.
That's his game.
Veigar. Oh, that's going to be her going down. This side of Carly trying to do something here, but she's not able to do too much. She does walk a little bit too far forward. Gets locked up by the Leona into the kill from the Zed. Now on his own. 1v4. What can he do? Looks to try to find a pick onto the enemy team, but he's not going to be able to do it. He is really tanky, but ends up going down in the end. And like you said, that's going to be game. Looks like the
Malphite wants to be part of it. We are going to see an execute on the Veigar, but 14.2k gold lead for the side of the good Chimps, and they have made a statement here in the MiniLCS, their first appearance. And I don't know about you, Slimsy, but I think there's only one way to describe that: utter fucking domination.
100%. Those are not chimps, those are apes. Those are massive apes. They are super scary and they seem to dominate the Rift in that game.
Thing is, trying to find an MVP there, you could look at any of those 5 lanes. Every one of them stood out. You know, Leona with the stuns, Misfortune doing the damage where it was needed, Malphite with the R's, and Zed coming in, and Veigar just did Veigar things. Like, he didn't. Veigar's not a flashy champion, but he's one of these champions that is so useful in these fights and doing damage. Yeah. That was. I don't know what much more to say about that series.
No, I hear you for sure.
First time we see the new blue bottle post game. Excellent.
Oh yeah, it looks nice, fancy. Very. Oh, it's broken. Okay, no worries. But I think for me, MVP had to go to the Malphite, in my opinion. I don't know if that's a bias because I'm a top lane main, but the Malphite really did a lot to sacrifice his lane and really ult. Just to find picks, right? A lot of the time, you saw engages from Malphite were correct, finding the carries, finding picks for objectives, going down to bot lane to get ganks, and that really enabled his team and the Zed to be in a good position to be able to carry the game.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing as well, the pick comp picked 5 people, and I'm not talking about champions, I'm talking about kills. Like good Chimps just didn't give them any chance to play the game.
Yeah, exactly that. Suffocated them, and for sure.
The big thing was, though, it wasn't through lack of trying for Caitlyn. Caitlyn, especially early on, was dominating the lane. The problem was, and this is the risk of that kind of strat, is when Leona can land that stun or Zed comes in, there's not much you can do. So yeah, right, serious. Well, we saw one game, but yeah.
No, it was a great game. It was a great game. It would have been nice to see the first game, but I'm sure we can kind of get an idea of kind of what happened. But yeah, that first game likely would have been a bit well, maybe a bit closer. I guess it still ended in 25 minutes, so maybe not that close the end. But
they lost 1 tower the whole series. That is that's a statement if I ever saw it.
100%. 1 tower is insane. Domination. Oh, sorry, we had something from production.
I had production say something, but I wasn't sure what he said.
Yeah, me neither. Wow. Okay, I think that says it all.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think that says it all. Look at the damage. The damage percentage, the damage per minute, the kill participation. It's just clearly the jungler was able to kind of get ahead, and I don't think that's particular fault of Kleps on the Hecarim.
No, Kleps. I mean, 1 and 2 it's a solid line. Problem is, when you're Hecarim, you need to be part of everything, and the problem was they just never got the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Whereas this said, he was there, he executed where he needed to, he played a near perfect game, and the stats show that.
Yeah, I think he played very well for sure, but he had a lot of enablers, right? We spoke about this quite a lot, and I think we're kind of spot on, kind of in the draft pick where we had the enablers with Malphite and Leona, and clearly you can see with good strategy comes good reward.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows, teams who have done practice. We did say good chimps have come from the Valorant League, so they know how to play together. I believe most of this team work together. I don't know much about Hagrid's Hermione's. I couldn't find anything. So I don't know if they're a mashup team or not. Production can probably help me on that. So that could be a factor. But either way, I don't think we've seen the last of them in this tournament. Obviously, they're not out of the game yet. They've still got another 3 games in the bracket. So hopefully they can get some results turned around before the end. But yeah, no, I'm
100%. Just the warm up stage. I'm seeing that.
Week 1.
Yeah, exactly. I'm seeing the Zed was saying my mid almost doubted the Zed pick, but he trusted. Shout out to him. Good for trusting the Zed pick. Clearly it did work. It did a lot in that game for sure. Like you said, there's more games to play, right? Teams are warming up, teams are exposing what they can do, and there's always time to bring it home.
Well, that's just it. I don't know what the plan is production wise, whether we're going to show any more games this evening or what the strat is. So yeah, hopefully we'll have an update shortly.
Trying to get an interview.
Oh, we've got an interview possibly coming as well.
Interview.
I hear Jackie likes comment another 5 series. I'll happily cast another 5 series if you want. I don't think Slimzy has got that amount of time though.
It's only best of 3s. What the hell are you on about, Jack Alex? 5 series.
The Usuke doesn't have webcam seemingly, so that's sad.
Can I join a VC call?
If you have OBS, Usuke, you can use your virtual camera as the webcam. That's what Slimzy's doing right now. That's what I do whenever over in the EU side of production we're hosting. So yeah.
This is my actual face. Thank you very much. It's the blue mess.
Blue with swords, yeah.
Yeah, blue with swords. Yeah. That's how I walk around. Hopefully we can get an interview. We'll see. Not sure who. I guess it's going to be from the side of the chimps, but I'm not sure who it's going to be. It looks like it might be the Zed, which will be interesting to speak about, and we can kind of see if we have interesting questions in terms of the comms coming from the team and the dynamic and direction they wanted to go in, and also questions about the first game.
I want to know what happened first game. Seemingly Mel did Mel things. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I do believe, as I say, we are going to get Pat Arena, the mid laner, coming up, which will be interesting to hear, especially after game 1, because seemingly they carried the game. Oh no, Patrina's top laner, sorry. So that was the Malphite their last game. Sorry, I'm looking at the stats, and on the stats I've got is mid laner on OPGG. Okay, that's what this PC says. So yeah. Shut up, Day Zero. Shut up. It's Scottish literacy. Unless it's the back of a whiskey or iron brew bottle, we have no idea what the hell it says.
we don't have concrete information. I'm very sorry, but is there an interview coming or?
Welcome to the stream.
I don't know, but I managed to get in.
There we go.
Very nice.
Well, congratulations on winning the series. That was slightly dominant. Talk us through. Was that how you expected it to go coming into this, or what was your thinking? Hello?
Oh, maybe we lost him. Stage fright. We have a little bit of stage fright. So I think we can see those stats.
I have no idea what the hell's going on, but yeah. And yeah, Vega was the most damaged.
I think someone else had joined the link and they got.
Oh no.
And we're back. Just us two.
Yeah, just us two. Yay. And the chat. Chat's going crazy right now.
We love chat.
Apparently,
Yeah, we love chat. Big shout out to all you guys for watching, for commenting. It's good to see supporting the stream. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. So thank you for joining. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. And this is only the start of the season, Slimsy. There's so many more games to come.
Exactly. Tons of games, group games, bracket games, crazy games, scrim games. We won't cover scrim games, but if you are already not in the Discord, yeah, exactly, true. Okay, we got words from production, and maybe one of them is joining again. But yeah, if you're on the Discord anyway, obviously you can see all the information there, which is good. And hopefully we got a hell of a season to come.
Hey, welcome.
Hello.
Congrats
Welcome.
on the victory. We don't have any sound, Aaron?
Yeah. Our production is
this kind of sums up the stream. This first stream of the year, folks.
This is client side, alright? This is client side. Okay. Hey. Who's the actual production tech, alright? That is
you tell me.
Help.
Hop in Discord and I'll get something sorted. We'll actually get this interview, ladies and gentlemen.
Fingers crossed we actually get an interview, folks. But yeah, this is the start of the season. Got a lot more to go. So if you're not already in the Discord, I'm sure Day Zero will post a link right about now. There'll be a link appearing in the chat.
Give this guy some chicken nuggets or a burger and he'll be fine. That is rude. Nah, give him hamburgers. They must be playing for his team for quite a while, right? There's a classic.
There's Day Zero with a link. No, the thing is that's what you want to see in a team. You want to see a team which sticks together, plays multiple tournaments together. So it's quite exciting to see.
100%. Sorry, go on, Aaron. Oh, not getting a word from production.
He's probably in the Discord call. You know that any production having to use Discord.
Oh yeah, should we join the Discord?
No. We're fine here. You'll be piping our audio directly into that. But no, I'm intrigued to see how this bracket plays out. And as Jackalic says, it is 5 series they will play, because in the middle bracket, especially in this part of it, it's a 6-team bracket, because we've got so many of you lovely hard stuck players. I can't talk, I'm a weeding pup. But so many hard stuck players here, which we thank you guys all for signing up, because again, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have a tournament. So yeah, there's going to be so many good games. And just a reminder, all finals and semi-finals will be streamed, especially the playoffs. So that's going to get exciting. Every team, at least in lower bracket, will be guaranteed a chance. And the top 4 teams, or top 8 teams from the other brackets will be seen.
Count to 10, you said?
Yeah, that's a lot of games. A lot of games for sure. But at least there's a lot more versatility in play. And a lot of people will be able to have their time to shine, right? Which is what we want to see.
Definitely.
I think we're maybe. Oh, I think we're good. Hello.
Are we? Hello.
Testing 1 2.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. I can hear you guys.
I can't hear him though.
I can't hear him. No.
Hello. Yes.
I hear something.
Hello.
In there. Was that how you expected it to go? A nice quick 2-0?
I mean, we came into the league and you never expect to go 2-0, of course. But yeah, we're a strong team. We've been playing for a bit now. So yeah, I think it's not unexpected, but yeah, we're definitely happy with it.
So for people who don't know, us included, let us hear a bit about your team. Is it just a new team? Did you just get together for a previous tournament, or has it kind of been going for a while?
So we played last season together for a full split, where we had our jungler, mid, and support on their roles, and I was the ADC, and then we had a different top laner. and I decided to swap to top lane. So we put in a new ADC. So yeah.
Okay, nice. Great. I'm a top lane name myself, so I love top lane. Do you want to work me through the kind of the dynamic you had there versus the Ornn in the top lane, and how you were kind of just moving around as the Malphite time picks for your team?
Yeah, it's just be a rock. Rock solid, yeah. Like, what do I do?
Shit would be so
I just said to my team, I'm coming. Like, that's all I did.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a play which I think it caught Slimsy off guard. I could see it kind of forming. Obviously, I'm guessing you straight from where go, you guys had a clear idea in that second game that your whole goal was just to press R. The rest of the team literally just smacked that R button, and it really worked out for you guys.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, I think you did a really good job.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Before we kind of finish up, talk me through the rest of the bracket. Yeah, we see the stats here: 2-1 and 9 for yourself. Talk me
Looks
through
like
the
I
rest
didn't
of the
do
bracket.
anything.
Hey, it's a key part. Key part.
20% damage. Yeah, it's good.
The top laner, that's pretty decent.
What do you mean? Enemy did 36 almost.
Yeah, but yours was important damage. You know, like when they just hit stuff for no reason. Yours was on the true carries to win the game. That's the important.
I mean, when there's a Veigar, Misfortune, and Zed, you can't really expect to be up there in terms of damage. But talk me through the rest of the bracket. Is there anyone you're really scared of? Is there any teams that jump out at you?
I mean, in Group C, there's a team of people we know, so we're looking forward for them. But
which team's that?
The rest, not really. What's the name? Wait, let me check it. It is the team with Shroklo and Gloomy in it. It is the Dangerous Game.
Oh, so for those who don't know Dangerous Game, it's something that I actually have a wee bit of familiarity with from the Zenith League, which they were part of last season, and I believe they done decently well. I don't think they went on to win it, but they were up there. So it'll be interesting to see how they do over here in the MiniLCS. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to play them.
Yeah.
Any final things you Slimsy?
No, from me, I think just congrats on the win. Very well played. It's a very good first win for your team. Give you guys the morale to be able to hopefully accelerate through the groups. And ultimately, yeah, just good luck.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining. Hopefully, we'll see you back up here as the season goes on. But good luck for the rest of the season.
We'll see. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, goodbye.
And that's that, folks. I don't know, production, are we doing anything else this evening, or are we good to wrap up? Well, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Big congrats to the Chimps on a solid 2-0 victory, only losing one tower in the process. Thank you for Slimsy for joining us, and take care. Have a wonderful evening. And I'm just hearing, before we go from production, that we will be back? I said back. For the Perplex Express versus ZYB tomorrow. We'll catch you guys soon. Take care.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. See you later.
Yeah.
such a perfect 4-4, but also so wrong.
No, because I had my headphones set as that I'm using just the 80 because my Logis had kind of unbalanced themselves. I've been away for the last couple of days. But yeah, no, so it's quite fun doing it on the league broadcast. If you share your screen, I'll kind of talk you through some of the key bits. I'll tell you what, I'll share mine and I'll talk you through it for the easiest way. I still have the base version because I'm not paying for it just yet. It's quite good they've done the discount. Yeah, it's still loading up.